I saw two films. I'll talk about the first one, Land, which was Robin Wright's directorial debut, and it features her and Demián Bichir. I forgot how to pronounce it. He was in The Hateful Eight, and it was very moving. It is a film that is supposed to be about healing, and it takes place in a cabin. They filmed it, I think, in Alberta, Canada, and it's an incredible film. Her starring in it, and her directing in it, and her trying to get through a painful scenario in her life, and she almost dies, and he comes to rescue her. It's absolutely beautifully filmed. And when I listened to the Q&A, they said that the DP literally slept in this cabin that they built for the film to make sure he was up with the sunrise photos. He could do the winter shots. They had a short production of 29 days, and they had fall, winter, summer in a weekend, and then so they couldn't get everything they could. So there was a lot of one takes. There was a place where I saw it should have been, they skipped a season, and there's a shot they moved right to fall, and then they went back, and I was like, I guess they didn't have enough footage and they didn't get it. But she's hunting, she's fishing, she's trying to survive on her own, and Demián helps her. He doesn't want to hear her story. She finally heals, and then his life takes a turn. And it was good. It was a classic independent film. And she also used music from a trio from Philadelphia called Time for Three that was quite beautiful. And here's the weirdest thing of all. Of both films that I saw from where I used to live in Sun Valley, they are both about the same subject, the premise, which is a mass murdering. And I just think that's just so crazy and they both handle it in different ways, but with a seclusion element. The film that I saw, Mass, took place in one place, kind of like this, except it's in nature. So it was just super interesting. She's just a class act, sophisticated. She does such a great job with her directorial debut. I mean, yeah, her hands were manicured. She's been living in the woods for 2 years. I don't know. She doesn't have a car, but anyway, she did a great job. Highly recommend the film. It's a tearjerker. It can be.
Yeah. So let me ask you, what's the nature of the story? What's kind of the theme of the story?
She's leading life from a massive tragedy, and she cuts herself off from the world and buys this cabin in the middle of nowhere in the mountains of Alberta, Canada. And she barely survives until a hunter saves her.
I'm hearing a lot of really good things about it. And so, what is it just the performances? Is it the look? What is it that's really striking people?
It's her, I think, in that she was in this dual role. So she put everything she had into it. And that she did it in some crazy elements. They had a bear whisperer on the set. And they were surrounded by wild animals all the time. They used a fake bear in a scene, which is kind of funny. They also stole something from Hateful Eight. If you remember when I forget who the character was, they were on a rope to go outside to get wood and come back. Yeah, and it's this crazy blizzard. They use that in this film too. And so because she's completely unprepared to be on her own without any connection in a very treacherous place unless you had hunting and survival skills. But yeah,
and I love that you clocked her nails. You're like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. There were a couple things like that. I was like, because I've been living in the woods for the last 10 years, certain things stick out. You're like, I don't know. It's Hollywood. But
yeah, we know exactly what you.
But
my nails look like I've been in the woods for 10 years.
The COVID nails. Yeah, but if they were manicured, I'm like, I and there's a close up. Otherwise, I would never have noticed. Like,
She knows a place. She knows a place in town.
Yes.
Or she has a particular set of skills.
Yeah.
She's good in the cabin. She brought her nail file.
She doesn't prepare, but her nails are on point.
Yeah.
She's
Absolutely.
ready. Yeah. If she's found dead, she'll look good in her, corpse.
It reminds me of that. There was a film with Gwyneth Paltrow a few years ago, Something Country. With, Garrett Hedlund, and you're supposed to buy her as this like burned out junkie on the road touring, and I'm like, you weigh 120 pounds and your skin glows.
Yeah.
She's like, have you seen Goop? Anyway.
In her bathroom.
You want my candle? Anyway.